Good morning, students. Good morning, students. Myself, Kalpana Vinod Jadhav from Sarkar Nagar Secondary School. Today, we will discuss about the Science and Technology Paper 1, Lesson number 8, that is Metallurgy. So, which are the learning objectives of today's topic? Let us discuss about the today's learning objectives. That is, first is discuss the basic principle of metallurgy. Second point is discuss about the refining of metals. Then third is discuss the term corrosion of metals. Then fourth one is understand the concept of prevention methods of corrosion. So these are the learning points, learning objectives of today's topic. Before that, keep your textbook, notebook and pen with you. Take a screenshot of important points, note down all the points in your notebook. Okay. Now, students, in last lecture, what we have learned, let's have a short recap. First is basic principles of metallurgy. What is meant by the basic principles of metallurgy, or which are the stages of basic principles of metallurgy? So first stage is what? That is the concentration of ore. What is the concentration of ore? Means removal or purify the ore or separate the gunge particles from the ore. That is nothing but the concentration of ores. So we in last lecture we have already learned the definition or what is meant by the concentration of ore. So concentration of ore is what? That is the process of separating gunge particles from the ores. That is called as concentration of ores. Now this concentration of ores having different stages. That first is the separation based on the gravitation. The separation based on the gravitation consists of two sub-stages. First is Wilfley table method and second one is hydraulic separation method. Second stage of concentration of ore is magnetic separation method. Third one is froth flotation and last is leaching method. So these are the methods which are used to concentrate the ores, to remove the gunge particles from the ores. Okay, so basic principle of metallurgy consists of three stages. First is concentration of ore, second one is extraction of metal, and third is refining of metals or purification of metals. In concentration of ores, we have seen the different sub stages. Main stages are separation based on gravitation, magnetic separation method, then froth flotation method and leaching method. In separation based method, we have seen the Wilfley table method and the hydraulic separation method. So what is the Wilfley table method? Wilfley table method is the separation method which is totally depend on the laws of gravitation. Okay, so laws of gravitation is there. Now in this method, we have seen that it consists of a fixing narrow thin wooden table. Okay, this table is kept in inclined position which is vibrating continuously, and when we pour the ore on the table, it will collect in the slit. So if you pour the powder ore which is obtained from the lumps of the ore, now this poured on the table and the stream of water is also released on the upper side of that table. So the gunge particles which are lighter particles, these gunge particles are carried away along with water. Okay. And what will happen then? All the ore particles get stuck, get collected on the slits between them. So this is the Wilfley table method. Next is hydraulic separation. Hydraulic separation is this separation method is also totally depend on the laws of gravitation. Now look at the diagram of hydraulic separation. Hydraulic separation also consists of a big vessel. This big vessel consists of outlet on upper side. So this separation method is totally based on the laws of gravitation and based on the working of a mill, like a grinding mill. Okay, and this vessel has outlet for water on the upper side and the water inlet in on the lower side. So two outlets, one is outlet and another one is inlet for the water. From the outlet on the upper. As the gunge particles are lighter, they get flows with the water, okay, on the upper side of the tank and get collected separately. At the same time, what will happen? All the ore particles which are heavier than the gunge particles, these gunge ore particles are get settled down at the bottom of the tank. Now, next is what magnetic separation method. Magnetic separation method is this method is depends on the electromagnetic machine. So rollers are there. Observe the diagram. There are two rollers. One is non-magnetic roller and second one is magnetic roller. So two types of rollers are there. Now these rollers consist of a conveyor belt which is moving around them. This conveyor belt which is moving around them, this is made up of a leather or brass. Okay, and this powder ore, when we poured on the conveyor belt near the non-magnetic roller, the collector vessels are placed below the magnetic roller and the particles of non-magnetic part in the ore are not attracted towards the magnetic roller. So this is very important point where the particles which are non-magnetic, these are not attracted towards the magnetic roller. Okay, so when this all these particles get separated, means magnetic ingredients and non-magnetic ingredients get separated in two vessels, two collector vessels. Okay, so magnetic rollers and non-magnetic rollers. So this is the important point and example of this magnetic separation method. This is what? This is the cassiterite. Is a tin ore which can be separated. So it contains mainly non-magnetic ingredients, stannic oxides, and magnetic ingredients, ferrous tungstate. So these are separated by the electromagnetic separation method. Now next is froth flotation. In board exam, it is the question may be asked like and second one is hydrophobic. Hydrophilic means water loving. Hydrophobic means water hating. So two properties are there. So particles which are water loving and particles which are water hating. So metal sulfides, which is having the hydrophobic property, it can be separated by this method. So metal sulfides which having hydrophobic property, they get weighted mainly with oil. So it get weighted with oil, and which oil? That is the pine oil or eucalyptus oil. So remember, pine oil or eucalyptus oil. These are the vegetable oils. So these metal sulfides, which are the ores, get separated. It get weighted with oil, that is pine oil or eucalyptus oil, because it is having the hydrophobic property and hydrophilic property, which having the gunge particles. The gunge particles consist of a hydrophilic property. Due to the hydrophilic property, they get weighted with the water, and because of that the gunge particles and the sulfide ores get separated because of the froth flotation. So important points: froth flotation having two properties. hydrophobic, and it totally depends on the hydrophobic and the hydrophilic property. Oil which is used, that is pine oil or eucalyptus oil. Okay, and when we agitate the roller, the agitator, if you rotate that, the agitator form the bubbles, or it form the froth, or it forms the foam. Because of that, the magnetic sulfides or metal sulfides get float. Because of the bubbles, because of the foam, they get float, and it can be separated from the gunge particles. So this is the froth flotation method. Next is leaching method. Leaching method is a very easy method where the metal sulfides or some of the ores which are soaked in a certain solution. Okay, and that process is nothing but the leaching method. So it get react with the metal ores, and we can get the pure alumina or pure silver or pure gold by this method. So next point is extraction of metal, the second stage of basic principle of metallurgy, that is the extraction of metals. We have seen the extraction of metals. Three types of extractions are there. First is extraction of reactive, second is extraction of moderately reactive metals, and third one is extraction of less reactive metals. So extraction of reactive metals, we know that the metals are highly reactive. They always react with the other elements. It may be, it forms the salts of oxides, sulfides, or carbonates. So we can separate these methods with different, having the different process. It includes, first is concentration of ores. Now concentration, here we have taken the example of aluminium. Aluminium is a reactive metal, does not occur in free state. So aluminium is always react with a, and having the ore that is called as bauxite. So concentration of bauxite is necessary to get the pure alumina. How to get the pure alumina? This is the process, that is the extraction of metals. So first H2O. And this bauxite ore, which is a main ore of aluminum, consists of different impurities. First is silica, second one is ferric oxide, and third one is titanium oxide. Okay, so these three are the impurities which are present in a bauxite. So we have to remove these impurities from the bauxite ore. So some process are there, that is the leaching process. First is Beer's process, and second one is Hall's process. So Beer's method and the Hall's method. Now look at the chemical of caustic soda under temperature 140 to 150 degrees Celsius. So it get react with the caustic soda and form the sodium aluminate and water molecules. So the filtration, we have to use filtration method to remove the iron oxide, to remove the ferric oxide. So because of the filtration method, we can filter this and we get the iron oxide which gets separated from the bauxite ore. And now what about the silica and the titanium oxide? So silica and titanium oxides which get dissolved in aqueous sodium hydroxide to form a water soluble sodium silicate. So these are the process, that is the Beer's process. Here we get, that is the sodium aluminate, which again react with or dissolve with water. We get the product, that is the sodium hydroxide and aluminum hydroxide. So this is the precipitation of, we get the precipitation of aluminum hydroxide. Now second method, that is the Hall's method or Hall's process. In this also bauxite ore which react with sodium carbonate and form the product, that is the sodium aluminate, water molecules, water vapors and carbon dioxide gas. Now this sodium aluminate again dissolve in a water and it will form the sodium carbonate and the aluminum hydroxide. So we get, in last step, we get the precipitate of aluminum hydroxide, which is obtained in both Beer's and the Hall's processes. So now what about the aluminum hydroxide? This aluminum hydroxide, it get heated at the temperature that is the 1000 degrees Celsius to obtain the pure alumina. So that process is the electrolytic reduction of alumina. Electrolytic reduction, that is the electrolysis process where the molten mixture of alumina having the temperature 2000 degrees Celsius, we have to lower this temperature about 1000 degrees Celsius to, we have to add the cryolite and the fluorspar to lower the temperature of mixture of molten alumina. Okay, so it lowers the temperature from 2000 degrees Celsius to 1000 degrees Celsius. Okay, now next is extraction of moderately reactive metals. So extraction of moderately reactive metals, it is having the two process. First is roasting and the second one is calcination method. So we know the reactivity series, the middle metals, that is the iron, zinc, lead, copper are the moderately reactive metals, and these are also react and form the sulfides and carbonate ores. So we have to obtain, we can obtain the zinc metal or the copper metal in purified form because of the roasting and the calcination method. So first is what? The ores which is heated in excess of air. This is nothing but the roasting method, and ores which is heated in limited supply of air or in absence of air, that is the calcination method. Second, roasting consists of a sulfide ores and calcination consists of carbonate ores. Now sulfur dioxide is produced. So observe the reaction, look at the reaction, that is the zinc sulfide plus oxygen molecules get heated from the zinc oxide, that is the zinc oxides, the metal oxides are there and form the sulfur dioxide gas. Since calcination, also zinc carbonate get heated and form the zinc oxide plus carbonate. So these are the extraction of moderately reactive metals. Now in last, let us discuss about the third stage of basic principle of metallurgy, that is the purification of the metal or refining of metals. As we know, the metals are highly reactive with another elements. It never present in free state. It will combine with another element. So refining of metal or purification of metal is necessary because it always combined with another impurities. It having the another impurities. So it is the mixture of impurities, the metal which is obtained by the various reduction process. We have seen the electrolytic reduction process of alumina. So this is the process we can get the pure metal. So that method is the electrolysis method. So electrolysis method is used to obtain the pure metal from the impure metal. So third one is what?
Third stage is refining of metals. So electrolysis method is used to obtain the pure metal from the impure metal. So refining of metal is this only. Now next is what is meant by the corrosion of metal. So what is meant by the corrosion of metals? So corrosion means slow process of rusting. It is the slow process of rusting where the metal get react with air, water, or acids. So highly reactive, as the metal is highly reactive, it get react when combined with oxygen, when combined with the air, when combined with the acid, it will react and get corroded. That is the rusting. So what is meant by the rust? So rust is nothing but the iron reacts with moist air and a deposit of reddish substance is called as rust. Okay, so corrosion is a slow process of rusting. We know that the old iron bars of the building or window grills all get rusted. Copper vessels are also rusted. It having the cover of greenish layer. So because of the oxidation process. Now again silver ornaments which turns into blackish color. Copper vessels also turns into greenish color. So these are because of the process of rusting or because of the when react with oxygen or air or any other element. So what when the iron reacts with the moist air and deposit of reddish substance is formed on it, that is called as a rust. And the formula of rust, that is the chemical formula of rust, is Fe2O3.H2O. So Fe2O3.H2O. Remember student, that is the chemical formula of rust, Fe2O3.H2O. So reddish, that reddish substance which is get deposited on the iron, metal or articles, that is nothing but the rust. Now carbon dioxide in moist air reacts with the copper vessels, so and form the greenish color layer that is the copper carbonate. So copper carbonate that is in greenish in color or greenish layer of copper carbonate, it forms on copper vessel that is called as patination of copper. So definition of patination of copper is what? Carbon dioxide in moist air get react with surface of copper vessel, form a greenish layer of copper carbonate that is called as patination of copper. So again blackish layer which is formed on this silver metal, that is the blackish layer is of silver sulfide. So on exposure of air, silver articles forms blackish in color. This is only because of the layer of silver sulfide. Also the layer of aluminum oxide on the pure metal of alumina. So these are the examples of corrosion of metal. Okay, so effect of corrosion. Look at the diagram. Look at the figure that the copper cladded Statue of Liberty made 300 years ago has turned greenish in color. So because of what? Because of the carbon dioxide. So when the large amount of carbon dioxide is present in the air, it get react with the copper vessel and it forms a greenish colored layer on it. So these are the examples of the corrosion of metal. Now take a screenshot of these important points. Okay, next is what? How to prevent the corrosion. How to prevent the corrosion? Different methods are there. So what is the prevention of corrosion? So various methods are there which is used to protect the metals from the corrosion. Okay, so special that iron which does not rust because of the painting, because of the grease, varnishing. So different methods are there to prevent the corrosion. So first is what? To fix the layer of some substances on the metal surface so that the contact of metal with moisture or and oxygen in the air is prevented and no reaction would occur between them. Look at the sentence. First word, to fix the layer of some substance on the metal. So layer of some substance is there on the metal to protect them, to protect that metal to contact with the moisture, oxygen in the air, which is prevented and there is no reaction would occur between them. So first is what? The prevention of corrosion having different ways. First is to fix the layer of different substance or different metal on that metal. It prevents the contact between the oxygen or air or moisture. Second one is by applying the layer of paint, oil, grease, and varnish on their surfaces. So these are the basic preventive method. Now, which are the different method? Again, different methods are there to prevent the corrosion. First is galvanizing. Second one is tinning. Third one is anodization. Fourth one is electroplating. And last is alloying. Now, first is what? First is galvanizing. What is meant by the galvanizing? Now, in this galvanizing method, let us start with the galvanizing. That in this galvanizing method, the thin layer of zinc is applied to prevent the corrosion of iron or steel. So, thin layer is applied on this metal, that is the iron or steel, to prevent the corrosion. For example, shining of iron nails, or it may be tower pins, staple pins. So different pins are there, safety pins. So thin layer of zinc is deposited on the iron, metal or steel to prevent the corrosion. In this method, the corrosion of zinc occurs first because zinc is more electropositive than the iron. So zinc is more electropositive. It get highly react with the air or moisture. So it will get react first and after that metal. So after few rainy seasons, what will happen? The zinc layer goes away and the inner iron get exposed. Then iron start rusting. So first is galvanizing method where the zinc layer, the layer of zinc is deposited or applied on the iron or steel metal to prevent the corrosion. So first is galvanizing. Second one is tinning. In tinning, that is called as kalai. In tinning, in this method, the layer of molten tin is deposited on the metal, is deposited on the brass vessel, or it's deposited on the copper vessel. So thin layer of molten tin is deposited on the copper or brass vessel, that is also called as kalai. So it prevent the rusting or corrosion of the copper or brass metal. So greenish layer which is formed on the copper or brass vessels, it can be prevented by applying the layer of molten tin. Okay, so this is the method which is called as tinning. So second diagram, it indicates the tinning method. Okay, now next is what? Third, that is the anodization. Now what about the anodization? Anodization is what? Anodization, that is the anode and cathode. That word itself term as anode, anodization. So anode is there, means what? In this is also the electrolysis process. It consists of an anode and cathode. So electrodes are there, electrolytes are there. So in this method, metal like copper, aluminum are coated with a thin and strong layer of their oxides. That is means what? Copper oxide and aluminum oxide. So that metal itself coated with strong oxides of that metal, that is the aluminum oxide. For example, the pure metal aluminum is get coated with aluminum oxide. The copper metal is again coated with copper oxide. So this metal, that metal is coated with a thin and strong layer of their oxide by the process of electrolysis. Now observe the diagram anode, that metal and having the anode, that the copper and aluminum articles are used as anode. And the oxide layer is strong and uniform all over the surface. So lining of the container or lining of the vessels, that is nothing but the cathode. So oxide layer which is strong and uniform all over the surface, it is useful to prevent the corrosion of metal. So first line is important, first sentence is important, that these metals like the copper and aluminum are coated with their thin and strong layer of their oxides. That process is nothing but the electrolysis. Now look, observe the diagram. For example, aluminum is anodized, is the thin layer of aluminum oxide is formed. So it obstructs the contact of aluminum with air and water. It prevents the further oxidation and protect the pure aluminum. So it forms, that metal aluminum forms the oxide, thin layer of aluminum oxide. So this protect the further oxidation. This process is nothing but the anodization. Okay. Now last, that fourth one is electroplating. It also consists of the electrolysis process. Observe the diagram. There is the electrodes and electrolytes are there. Electrode, anode is silver plate, cathode is aluminum spoon. So cell is connected is there. This is the electrolysis process. In this method, the less reactive metal is coated on a more reactive metal by the process, that is the electrolysis process. So first sentence, that is the less reactive metal is coated with the more reactive metal. Now less reactive metal, for example, gold, gold, silver, platinum. These are the less reactive metals. These are coated with more reactive metal by electrolysis process. Now what about this? Less reactive metal is coated on a more reactive metal. Okay. So example here again, silver plated spoon, gold plated ornaments. So these are the nothing but these are the examples of the electroplating. So less reactive metal is coated on a more reactive metal. Now last fifth one is allowing. Allowing means what? Here is a coins. Now this is nothing but the minting coins. What is the minting coins? Where we use the different allowing, that is nothing but the what is in by allowing? That is the mixture, that is the homogeneous mixture of metal or homogeneous mixture of metal and non-metal. That is called as allowing. Allowing, it is used to decrease the intensity of corrosion of metals. So first is definition of allowing. Alloy is what? Alloy is homogeneous mixture of which is formed by mixing a metal with other metal or non-metal in certain amount or in certain proportion. This is called as alloy. Now, for example, bronze 90% copper and 10% tin. So bronze, which is the mixture of alloy, 90% of copper and the 10% of tin. Bronze statue do not get affected by the sun and rain. Also, another example is stainless steel. Okay, so stainless steel having the 74% of iron, then 18% of chromium and the 8% of carbon. So for example is minting coins. So these are the minting coins made up from the different alloy. So we have seen the 5 rupees coin, 10 rupees coin. So these are the mixture. That is, these are the example of alloy. So these are the prevention methods to prevent the metals from the corrosion. Okay. Now next, that is the your homework. Before that, what we have seen? First is what? First, we have seen the basic. First, in this chapter, we have seen the different properties, physical and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Then we have seen the reactivity series of metal. Some metals are highly reactive, that is the potassium, sodium, calcium. Some are moderately reactive and some are the inreactive. So unreactives are there, so less reactives are there. Now next we have seen the different method, that is the basic principles of the metallurgy. Before that, what is meant by metallurgy? What is define the minerals, define the ores, define the Ganch particles. What is meant by minerals, then what is meant by the Ganch particles, or what is meant by the ores. So impurities we have to remove from the ores, or Ganch particles we have to remove the ores. Different methods are there. So basic principles of metallurgy are there. Three important points or three important stages of the basic principles of metallurgy. First is concentration of ore, second one is extraction of metals, and third one is refining of metals or the purification of metals. Okay, again we have seen that the what is meant by the corrosion of metals, or what is meant by the rust, then what is meant by the patination. Patination process is there, patination of copper. Again, we have seen the different method of prevention methods of corrosion. So prevention method of corrosion, that is first is galvanizing, then tinning, anodizing, then electroplating is there, and last one is alloying. So these are the different points, and question may be asked on this chapter, metallurgy chapter, that is the draw neat and label diagram of magnetic separation method or froth flotation, electrolytic reduction alumina, hydraulic separation method. Also label the diagram for 2 marks. Then explain the term, that is the metallurgy, minerals, ores, Ganch particles. These are the question may be asked. Also give the scientific reasons. So ionic compounds, that was in the ionic compounds having the ionic bond. It consists of ionic bond between the cations and anions. That bond, ionic bond, which is formed because of the electrostatic force of attraction, and that bond is very strong, right? So it consists of very strong bond, that is it forms the ionic compounds. So sodium, that example of ionic compound is sodium chloride, where sodium is a metal and chlorine is a non-metal. So metal which release or which donates its electron, and non-metals which accepts the electron and form the cation and anions. So one is electropositive and another one is electronegative, and it forms the bond between the opposite charge, that is the ionic bond. Also the question may be asked, pine oil is used in froth flotation. So pine oil is used in froth flotation when we agitate, when you rotate the agitator, it forms the froth, and the metal sulfides get float on the that froth, and it can be separated from the Ganch particles. So these are the question may be asked in board exam. Also the zinc oxides is dissolved in dilute hydrochloric acids. These are the chemical reactions, which are the chemical properties of metal and non-metal. So let us start with your homework part. So take out the screenshot of this homework. Different type of questions are there. What are the various alloys which is used in daily life? Also, which are the methods of preventing rusting of iron? Why the silver articles turns blackish? So it is only because of the silver sulfide. The layer of silver sulfide will form. Because of that, it turns into blackish color. Now copper vessels also turns into greenish color because it reacts with the carbon dioxide and form the copper carbonate. Now next is what? Why do pure gold or and platinum always glitter? Because these are the unreactive metals. These are the noble metals are there. So they never react with another elements. Define alloy, homogeneous mixture of metal or the metal non-metal, that is nothing but the alloy. Give examples of alloy with chemical compositions. That is the example of the bronze and the stainless steel. Also the why do new iron sheet appear shiny? Also the right short note on the galvanizing and the electroplating. So this is your homework. Note down all the answer and questions in your notebook. Okay, students. Thank you. Hello. Hello, ma'am.